There is nothing worse than the feeling of regret. Time going by and realizing you didn't do everything you could. You didn't put yourself in a position to get what you wanted or to attain something because you didn't put in the requisite amount of work, or you were shy, or you didn't want to bother somebody and ask somebody this, or go out of your way to shoot your shot. And shooting your shot can mean anything: business, women, a relationship that's going to lead you to getting better opportunities. It could be anything, bro. That could be calling a coach. That could be sending your film to a school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things. The two types of pain, you have to decide which one you're gonna deal with. The worst by far is these years go by, the time goes by, and you're going through that phase and that crisis of, I could have had this, I should have had this, but I wasn't willing to put in the work on the days I was tired. I told myself I was tired, or I didn't want to do this, or I put in the work halfway, but I knew I wasn't really going hard all the way. To myself, I knew that. There's literally nothing worse, because this time is going to pass for all of us, and it's literally nothing that will hurt worse than having to sit there and just live with your reality, knowing you are not where you want to be simply because of yourself. Now, it's outside factors and stuff like that, but if that's more so the case, that's just God aligning you where you need to. But if it's in your hands, that's your problem. And that's something that that's the main reason I do what I do. It's the main reason I'm willing to be uncomfortable, put myself through pain every single day, put myself in uncomfortable situations where I have to grow. It's going to allow me to become the person I need to be to take that next step. Because sometimes we'll ask God for something, and then we'll get these hardships to prepare us for that next step. Maybe you're asking for this job or this position on this team or whatever, or this woman, but God's giving you the character building things to allow you to handle that, because He can give you that job or that relationship or that position on the team. But if you're not prepared for it, you're not ready for it, it's going to be a blessing that was too soon. And you're going to wish, damn, I wish I would have been ready and I didn't get enough time. And it was also happened. You hear people talk about shit all the time. It happened so fast. Things went so fast. I wish I could have, or I should have. And that ties into that regret that you want to avoid at all costs. And so what does that look like? Avoiding that doesn't mean you're avoiding pain. You're just choosing a different type of pain. You're choosing when you get home, after work, after school, after practice, and you're tired and you don't want to lift, you don't want to edit, you don't want to finish your project, you don't want to finish that paper. I literally mean cooking. Shit, sometimes that's me. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that's me. I will not cook, or I'll be lazy, I'll just go buy something like to eat or whatever, and it's like, it ties back to that. You're gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna have to do things consistently that you don't always want to do. You're gonna have to meal prep, you're gonna have to stretch, you're gonna have to work out, you're gonna have to make sure you watch film, you're gonna make sure you have to make a certain amount of shots every day. You know what I'm saying? You'll have to edit shit when you don't want to edit. You're going to do assignments when you don't want to do it. But you consistently choosing that, you 10x every day. I don't mean that literally, if you know the meme, reference that. But every single day you put yourself ahead because you keep doing things regardless of your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? You being tired, or you being in a position where you might feel comfortable and you might have had a little bit of success. You might have actually seeing progress, so you start to be like, I could chill, I could lean back a little bit, because like, look at all the work I didn't put in, look at how much I've accomplished, so to speak, or look at all the progress that I've made up to this point. I could chill a little bit. People will always try to cave to that, and people will always try to tell you that, bro, you just had a really good game, you could chill, or you just had this, bro, you just worked out twice today, you could take a rest, like, so more you gotta take off, so just chill. Like, it's always a give and take. But what most people aren't gonna recognize is, if they're content living a regular life, that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna be super ambitious and want a lot for themselves. Not everybody's like that. But if you do, it's just gonna have to be something that you sacrifice. Time with certain friends, time with certain family, time off of social media maybe, watching TV. Like, I know for me, two things I had to give off rip: watching shows, watching any type of TV, and playing the game. I used to play the game all the time, bro. Like, I used to be on the game damn near half the day. And I started to recognize, like, if I just get off the game, I could work out twice in a day instead of once. Now I'm already getting better because I have two separate workouts that are completely different times of the day that I could work on different shit or do different shit. I could work on my game in the morning, maybe stretch, maybe lift, who knows, depending on what time I get up or how much time I have. And then later I can go hoop, go work on that. go work on that skill against live defense. And then I could lift before that. So it just becomes something like second nature that, okay, I'm tired of shit, or I don't feel like it. No, hell no. You know what you want though. You know what you want. Because you could be tired and still do it. It's literally nothing that's stopping you. Nothing that's stopping you from doing it just when you're tired or when you're sore or when you're not in the mood. Like, it's easy to say that. Every single day it's gonna be like 100 different moods. So are you gonna just let that dictate it? Or are you gonna let the fact that you told yourself you're gonna do something and you wrote it down and you set a goal, so now you have to hold yourself to that? Like, you have to be a man of your word. You have to be a woman of your word. There's nothing worse than telling yourself you're gonna do something and then you don't do it. Because now you start to lose self-respect. Or people start to lose respect for you, but it's nothing worse than losing self-respect. Because you have to wake up as yourself every single day. So for you, I don't know what that means. It can mean a million different things. It can mean stop hanging with women, stop going out all the time, stop drinking, stop smoking. It could be anything. But you have to know what you have to sacrifice to allow yourself to take that next step. Put yourself in a position where, yes, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be hurting for maybe a little, maybe a long time. But in the process, you're going to create a version of yourself that's thankful, that's not regretting the past. Now, I know for myself, I knew I had to move. I knew I had to move to a different area, get in a different environment, and surround myself around different people. You know there's a change that needs to be needed, and you have to improve. You have to take that step. Hanging around people all the time, or I'm in a comfortable situation, or I'm somewhere where I don't feel like I can grow anymore, I can't. So yeah, I might not see certain people as much or be around certain things as much, but I know it's worth it because I'm putting in this time on myself, for myself, and for mainly for myself, but obviously for other people as well. And you just become something that you have to sustain, and that's going to be every day, because once you put yourself in that position, you constantly have to remind yourself. It's not something like you don't just wake up and all of a sudden you're disciplined, so you just do shit like automatic, like you're a robot. No, you still have feelings, you still don't want to do shit, you still get tired, you still get hurt, you still get sore, you still get, you know what I'm saying, people still do certain shit to you that affects your day or affects your mood, but you decide because you made a promise to yourself. So as soon as you make a promise to yourself, okay, I'm doing this, now I gotta do it, and that's it.